Syrian conflict dominated discussions at the opening of the G20 meeting, where Barack Obama addressed his Syrian agenda in his first speech. Vladimir Putin greeted Barack Obama in St Petersburg yesterday. However, there are no other planned meetings between them at the two-day conference. US officials believe recent Russian military activity, including 2 Russian warships and support vessels off the Syrian coast, are tracking US military movement in the area to share with Syria. US officials have also said they think Russian satellites and radar sites are providing information to the Syrian regime. Thomas Graham, a Russia expert and former employee at the George W. Bush White House, said, "The administration has a hard time understanding how Russia defines its own interests. It is hard to buy them off when you are asking them to do things that in their view raise direct threats to Russia's national interests." A senior White House official revealed, "What we've said to the Russians is the United States isn't interested in removing Syria from Russian influence or acquiring Syria as a client state of the United States." The talks revolving Syria overshadowed the concerns for the global economy. However, Putin addressed this stating, "Our main task is returning the global economy towards steady and balanced growth. This task has unfortunately not been resolved. Therefore, systemic risks, the conditions for an acute crisis relapse, persist." G20 leaders expressed fear over Fed tapering and the major risks it posed to emerging markets. China asked the US to be mindful of the spillover effects. The US, however, has said it believes strong domestic growth is healthy for the global economy, and that the government believes that there are different ways each country can do within the G20 framework to commit and invest in economic growth. David Cameron today said that the UK would provide an additional £52 million to help Syrian refugees and called on other countries for support, stating, "This is a moral imperative. This is the big refugee crisis of our time." As the Secretary General has made clear, 7 million people are in dire need and chemical weapons attacks have made this even more acute. A Syrian becomes a refugee every 15 seconds while we sit here at this conference. That is 5,000 fleeing their homes and becoming homeless while we are at this G20 summit. He also believes that it is crucial in a political manner, as it will help build international support for action by demonstrating that the response is not just military. François Hollande shares his views, stating, "It's really important that the Europeans present at the G20 are on the same page in condemning the use of chemical arms and condemning the regime that used them." Well, that is all for right now, but do stay tuned to Dukascopy TV as we will be bringing you the latest economic news. Goodbye for now.